Welcome back to What Would It Cost? Today we're talking with Mischelle from the Mete team, and we're going to be talking about how coming from the administration side has made her a well-rounded agent. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Of course.
And today's episode is sponsored by Nove Baci. They're at Kiel and McNaughton. They're an awesome Italian restaurant. They've been around for a while, but it's most recently under new management, with the Picente family having years and years of experience in the business and applying that to the space. It's awesome all across the board. You'll love your experience there, and the food is great. The pasta, the pizza, the calamari, the bruschetta, and everything on that menu. Stellar.
Absolutely. And for those of you non-Italians, look up 9 Baci. What is it going to cost?
How much? Hi, my name's Nicholas Regina.
My name's Michael Sakuro.
And you're listening to
What Would It Cost?
Is that good?
All right, let's get into it. So tell us a bit about your background. I'm excited because we were talking before that you're in the administration aspect of it before, and how, there's the importance of making a well-rounded agent, not just understanding the front end, but also the back end as well.
Yeah. So real estate kind of just happened. I was in university, and my parents said, you need to work too.
Yeah.
If you want to go out and you want money, you need to work. So I actually joined a brokerage in Thornhill. I went to York University, so it was close by. Called Sutton Group. Admiral Murray Goldkin is the broker of record. They're a very, very busy independent office. We used to get a deposit check like every hour.
Nice.
Like it was really, really busy.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was there, got trained there, excellent staff. And then when I graduated, it became a little bit far. Mind you, I was doing it part-time, of course, and studying. And it just became too far, and I joined a brokerage in Woodbridge, where I was living at the time, called Intercity Realty. I'm sure a lot of people know about that brokerage. I know Lou Grossi. He works with many big builders. Again, an independent brokerage, very busy, very successful. And I was there for about 4.5 years. 4.5 years.
Nice.
Kind of doing part-time, trying to transition to full-time.
Right.
And then my boss at the time said, listen, Michelle, do you want to do this full-time? And I said, yeah, I do. It was a family, just like you guys are here, right? It's a family, and I felt so close, and I'd learned so much from them. Majority of what I learned was from Lou and his staff. So I just felt like I want to be at home, and this is great. I moved around quite a bit, went to work for Daryl King afterwards in Richmond Hill, then went to go work for Lino Archie, Remax Hallmark, close to where I am now at Royal LePage Premium One. So really, really successful brokers, all very busy.
That's awesome.
And I was able to see a lot of how they maneuvered through the business and what strategies they used, and how they sell homes, because it's interesting. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different approach towards it. And it really also depends on the resources you have. So with Daryl at the time, he was a Royal LePage. He's a Remax now. Lino's a Remax. Different brokerages offer different resources, and of course, if you're going to be a part of a brokerage, you should utilize the resources, right? Yeah. So after that, I joined Royal LePage Premium One, Jesse and Joe's team, excellent realtors as well. And then I decided to be independent, still stay at the brokerage that we were with, and join Jordan.
Very cool.
Yeah, so
that's
now
awesome.
I'm part of the Mete team.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you went to a lot of these major teams and really taking a different approach on experiencing what it takes to become a realtor, because a lot of people, they join the industry, join a bigger team, and I hear like a lot of them want to mentor with someone. So it's really cool that you get to see the back end of it, and then there are different approaches. So with all those big teams, what made you want to join the Mete team?
You know what? I've known Jordan for a while, and I've seen him work for a while. I really like his approach towards the business. So when we talk to a seller, we really cater. We have an a la carte concierge service. We really cater to their needs. It's not just like a one package, take it, or, based on a certain commission package, a discounted agent or a full service agent. We really cater to the home. So if you need anything at all, we have tradespeople that can do anything. I hear a lot of realtors say sometimes, I would advise my client the way I would advise myself to kind of conduct business. But what you do in your business and the approach you take doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for somebody else. Everyone's finances are different, goals and stuff like that. So we really try to find a solution, whether it's a buyer or a seller. Both ways. For sure.
It's not a one size fits all.
Yeah, you can't push
it's definitely
that
not.
box.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Well, that's
Very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
And after working for all these big names and these big brokerages, and then, you know, to be moving on to the Mete team, that's a big compliment for them. Someone who's got such experience as yourself, and have seen and been around all the, you know, big names and big players out there, is what you were naming before there, and now to be on the Mete team, you know, it's big accomplishment, big compliment to them, and I'm sure there's a solid partnership,
right? Of course,
because of it, right? Yeah.
Like I was saying before, I have a lot of back end experience, and Jordan has a lot of front end, so you know it works. We fill the gaps, and I just really admire the way he does business and the way he treats his agents, and it's just. It's great. It really is. It really is. Yeah, for sure. And I definitely think it's going to be something big.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
The agents that I worked for in the past, I really feel like, you know, we're headed towards that kind of way. And there's a lot of trust there too. I think that's so important with anything.
Right.
Your partnership with your clients, colleagues, you know, broker manager, you need to have trust.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that even means a lot that you would say that too, because you've seen these other success stories, right? You're saying even a deposit check coming in once an hour at some of the offices that you used to work for. So to see that in an up and coming team, and you know, a young entrepreneur like Jordan himself heading that off, that's big. That's big.
Yes,
that's
you
awesome.
spoke to him. I'm sure you can vouch for whatever I'm saying.
100%. We had a fun time with him, and you could tell he really takes what he does seriously.
Absolutely.
He's extremely passionate about it.
Yes.
And it was fun having him on here, and to know that you guys are in a partnership and rocking out together, that's cool, and big things to come.
It's good. I get to see that often, so it's nice.
Good.
It's
That's
nice.
great.
It's refreshing for sure.
So now that you're on the real estate side, so what's sort of become like your niche that you sort of fell into? Are you like just taking any buyer, seller, pre-construction?
Ever since I got my license, I've been lucky and blessed enough to have clients, just from my experience in life, kind of come to me and be like, Mischelle, you know, I want to buy my first house. I want to, you know, sell a house that, you know, maybe my parents had a friend or something like that. Right. I've been lucky, and I feel like a lot of realtors, that's probably why they get their license, because, you know, they're usually banking on friends and family to start off and kickstart. I personally think that you should have something under your belt before you decide to jump into the business, not just promises of, you know, listings or clients, but a nice chunk of money saved, because it's expensive.
Yeah.
Right?
What do those costs start to look like? Like if you had to roughly break it down, not that you had to put real accurate numbers to it, but if you had to roughly break it down, like what does that investment look like to break into the industry? If you were your agent, what does the time look like, and all that?
It's funny because I'm saying this, but that wasn't the case with me. I had to jump from a full-time job, which there was a lot of security and this and that, and go and get my license. I actually got licensed while I was working with Remax, so I was doing admin and also had my license, which is called a conflict of interest. You can't do both.
Right.
So I ended up selling my first house while I was still having my full-time job, and I'm like, this is great. I have a great salary. I can sell homes, but it just doesn't work. You're seeing all this privy information, then you're also doing transactions. So that transaction kind of helped me make the jump, and feel a little bit more confident in doing so. But as fast as that came in, it goes once you do make the jump, because again, it's expensive investing in marketing. You know, depending on the brokerage you join, the fees, just getting your name out there. I have some friends and family here, but not a lot, so I don't really necessarily know crazy amounts of people. So I had to like market myself like crazy. I literally remember at one point it was just really hard to get like buyer and seller clients. So I did like 100 leases in 9 months.
A lot of people do.
Like it was just insane.
9 months.
Yeah. I had to do it. What am I gonna do? The rental market was crazy. It was kind of like a good time to get rental clients. So that's sometimes you got to do that too.
Yeah, for sure. No, a lot of the agents on here talk about that, and even some of the top performers are just like, that's how you build relationships. That's how you, when you look at things from a longevity standpoint in the big picture, it may start as a lease, but if you do a killer job with that client and they really see that you're passionate about it, and you bring them into that unit and you know, with that white glove service, and really show that you care and you love what you do, come time that they save up some money and buy and jump into the market, you're going to be their go-to, right?
Yes.
So it's
I hope so. I definitely strive for that. You hope for that.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So a lot of the realtors that we've had on and had the pleasure of interviewing, they love doing leases, right?
Good.
For that reason alone, it builds relationships and you guys are just you're really passionate about what you do. The people that are very active with it, right? So
I think so. Just being a people person.
Right.
I always tell people I'm not a salesperson, I'm a people person. You know, like I can't sit and sell you this based off things that aren't, you know, where there's like an emotional involvement. And I know a lot of people say don't put emotions into business, but people can feel that if you're being like very dry and you're being like, people can feel that you do need to have some of that involved.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And when going back to the marketing, so you're talking about the postcards, flyers, and everything.
Yeah.
So what's your thought? More on the traditional marketing side, or more with the social media? Because I know everybody we always talk to, they have a different aspect. Like some love the door knocking, flyering, and some are like, nope, I don't want to touch that. Simply just social media. So where do you fall into place?
I can only vouch for things that I've seen work.
Yeah.
Door knocking is great. It's probably one of the harder things to do.
Right.
But it's definitely one of the most rewarding.
Really?
It's free. Which, what in life is free?
Right.
It just takes that, you know, I got to do this. Do this. I'm so grateful. Jordan has a coach. I don't know if he told you about his coach, Dom. And we train with him once a week. And like he is on our, excuse my language, ass to... Door knock, to make our calls, and that is literally what I feel every agent needs a coach. I really do, because you can get lazy. You can be like, you know what, I have like 3-4 closings, whatever, I don't need to worry, this and that. But what are you going to do when that comes and goes? Like, there's nothing to look forward to.
Right.
Absolutely.
I believe in CRMs, lead generation, online lead generation. No offense to my family and friends, but my best clients, and I'm sure Jordan can agree, have been strangers.
Right.
You know, that we built rapport with, got to know. I feel with family and friends, there's like this extra level of like care you have to take and expectation.
Something's always due to go wrong with it, right?
Yeah. No, and it's just like one of those things. As a friend or a family member, you think, oh, you know, this person's going to go the extra mile for me, and it's like, you know, almost the same for us, where it's like, you know, maybe they'll be more understanding.
Right.
So it's always that little.
Yeah.
But love them though.
Keep coming.
Yeah. Please do. Yes. But yeah, online lead generation, door knocking. The lead generation obviously is expensive depending on what you decide to do with that. But we kind of take every approach possible.
Good.
Jordan does postcards. He has the CRM going, the door knocking. We will send letters to expired listings. We'll go door knock expired listings, terminated listings, so long as they're not in contract.
Yeah.
It's a free for all. Just go for it.
Yeah.
We'll take every approach that we possibly can.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
and just even networking, going out and talking to people.
Yeah.
That's so important to do that.
Cool. So you diversify your approach on bringing new business in through the doors, and you don't frown upon any of the forms of marketing. Yeah,
absolutely
very cool.
not.
Very cool.
It's funny. Social media is probably probably the last thing. To be honest with you, I know a lot of agents will like really vouch for social media, and I know a lot of successful realtors that use social media really actively. But like, for example, Jordan's just starting to kind of revamp his social media. It's like in the past like few months and stuff. Me too. I'll do it like, you know, slowly, but there's other ways of getting business. I'm sure social media is a great place. I've yet to get business from social media. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And how new are you into the platform in regards to engaging with it on a professional level?
That's what it is, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Not so much, kind of looking into it now.
Okay.
I kind of handle my own Instagram. It's probably the last kind of thing on my mind, but I do try to post just to have that engagement I don't know, once or twice a week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just my approach.
Yeah.
I know a lot of realtors that get a lot of business off social media.
Yeah. Even with our approach and what it was prior to Joseph, our CMO, coming on board, and what it is now, is the world of a difference, right?
Yes.
In regards to the way that we've moved everything into video format.
Yes.
The podcast was a big initiative of Joseph's that he wanted to bring to the table, and even repurposing this content for the socials, but just sometimes picking up the phone. Like he tells us all the time, guys, pick up the phone, just talk into it, get me some video over. Like
it's so important.
Us, right?
Yes,
and it's so true, right? Like whatever's relevant or whatever topic needs to be discussed, right? Or whatever it may be, right? The climate of the market, you want to speak on that. Just pull the camera out and just get on
It's
it,
true.
and send him the footage, and he puts it up, and it's what's worked for us. It's what's had people engaged. They appreciate the authenticity. They appreciate us being ourselves and just talking about what we know to be knowledgeable on any particular subject, right?
Yeah.
So
For me, it's more so I need to learn more about it. Kind of see how to integrate that into the business properly. And a lot of the reason why I'm here, guys, I'll learn from you, right?
No.
It starts with coming out of your comfort zone and
That's
being
right.
really authentic with it.
Yes.
Yeah,
for
like there's a
sure,
lot
for
of
sure.
conversation we have with a lot of these realtors talking about social media is that you have to be authentic. You can't just be cookie cutter. Look, here's sold. Here's my listing. Here's your same dry, boring
Exactly.
content. That's why some of you might not generate leads, and that was the same like us, like Nick was talking about. Is we're doing the here's your tip Tuesday. Here's what would it cost for this property. Here's your quotes, but it wasn't sticking with people. It wasn't our faces. It wasn't our team's faces. It just it wasn't authentic.
Yeah. As you learn, as you kind of do it,
Exactly.
and see what works and what resonates with
Exactly.
people.
But very interesting to know that you don't have that on the forefront, and it's not something you're applying a lot of time, energy, and capital into, but you have everything else working for you, and you've been doing well, and you're on a great team, and the team's kicking butt, and now you're going to add that to the mix, so it's like putting fuel on a fire. So it's going to get really
so
exciting.
always room for improvement. I
I
think that is something that I can improve on, and God,
it's okay.
just get really, really busy then, right?
I definitely think though too is your approach. Like we're talking about social media, but there's still that older generation is not really that old, that they're not accustomed to it, they're not used to it. They like that people interaction, that seeing that face and understanding, okay, this is what I'm going to be getting into, this is what I'm going to be getting into it with. So it's really awesome that you take that we call it the old school approach, but really it's that traditional approach for sure.
Yes, I mean,
So you said the people person.
Yes, exactly. I remember we went door knocking. Oh boy, this was like maybe a month or two ago, and I knocked on their door and introduced myself. We had sold a house on the street.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she said, "Mischelle, we were literally just on the couch talking about selling the house."
Wow.
So I'm just like, what are the odds, right? It could have been a certain day, maybe they weren't doing that. So it just happened to be that kind of worked that way. Is it always going to work that way? Probably not. Most of the time, probably not. It's very interesting.
Talk to us about a few situations where you've had some luck with door knocking, right? Because I think it would be very important for the audience and the new generation that's listening into this podcast to understand that these old school formats of marketing, again, old school, but they're still very, very effective. That people person, that interaction, that confidence that you need to go up to that door and put on a show for them, right? And let them know that you're confident in what you can get for selling their home, and speak a bit about a couple of success stories with that.
It's definitely easier when you've sold a house on the street.
Yeah. Right,
and they've seen the sold sign there.
Okay.
Honestly, most of the time it's people are just not really looking to sell, but are thankful for the information.
Yeah.
What we do is when we door knock, we'll have a letter that we give them telling them the property that's sold and what it's sold for, and a link where they can then go put in their address and get a home evaluation.
Okay.
Which is now our CRM.
Right.
So now we capture that information, that lead information.
Nice.
Okay.
Usually we do have to nurture the lead. Very seldom does it happen that way.
Yeah.
Even with that one, they had interviewed agents. Although they were thinking of selling, they knew, what the thing is to interview agency who's going to best, cater to what they need to sell their home for top dollar. So that was still a process. Yeah, I mean, there's a few stories. They're not all of them are like that. Most of the time I just get told to leave, get off my property.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, of course. You get that too, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot. It depends on, someone's having a bad day. Okay, leave. Most of the time people are just, thank you for the information, but I'm good.
And even though even you being able to take in that get off my property or leave, and then just go back up onto the next door and knock on it with that same amount of confidence, I tip my hat to you personally on that, because again, that shows that you're truly ambitious and hungry for the business and wanting to continue to push forward. And it's hard to not have that affect you and get right back out there, right?
Yeah.
So good on you for that.
I appreciate that.
What are some of the tips and tricks that you could tell some of the audience to just get back up on your feet?
I was just going to say, I was talking to a colleague yesterday, and I said, the best thing you could really do in this business is bite your tongue. You really can. And that goes with so many different situations, but
just shut up.
No, but you never know what someone's going through. You never know. You never know. Don't take it personally. Just move on. There's no point in sitting and dwelling on, why that person reacted that way, or sitting in your low in anything in life, right? You just got to move on, because business doesn't stop.
Good for you. Yeah,
of course.
But easier said than done.
Definitely easier said than done.
You, right? You must have trained for that, or have been through it enough times to have it kind of just roll off you, right?
Yeah.
But I know it affects a lot of entrepreneurs. So
it does.
Bite your tongue, move on.
Keep
your head up and get to that next door and keep knocking.
Yeah. That's right. And also have a really good mentor. I'm shy by nature. Watching Jordan kind of do what I just said, and he doesn't even bite his tongue. He's just whatever, and moves on, right? Because again, there's no point. Having a good mentor is really important to be able to get comfortable. Once you do it, the first time it'll be hard, the second time, but eventually it'll just be
so true.
Just cake.
Even same thing with our strategy on the putting the video cameras out and making mistakes in the podcast. We were just shaking.
Yeah, of course.
The first few times on set here, right? So and even when we're shooting the videos, it's how was that set? And Joe's just just give me the video. I need it, and it's he's right.
It's teamwork. Teamwork is so important.
100%.
It's hard to do this thing alone.
Yeah.
No, you definitely need that push here and there for sure.
Yeah, accountability partner. That's what we say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming out today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much.
I appreciate the knowledge.
Really love what you have going on here, and it's really informative. And love the fact that I've been able to come on here and just give my perspective on things. Thank you.
Give you some content for the social.
Yes, please do.
It'll be the official push you outside of the gate and onto the media. So I'm
gonna have to steal your content, people.
Yeah. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Nove Baci. We're going to go enjoy some lunch that they brought over to us. It's all in the containers, so they do catering too. Make sure to hit them up. They got awesome pizza, pasta, everything else you want on an Italian menu.
Beautiful space for any events you're looking for, outdoor, indoor. And again, for my non-Italians, 9 Baci. Check them out.
Nove Baci.
And thanks again for watching this week's episode. Be sure to like, follow, and share. Hit the subscribe button below, and we'll see you next week.
Next on What Would It Cost?
My name is Kate Broddick, and I am head coach of the Kate Broddick team in Brantford and Norfolk. So we now have 2 locations. I am in my 11th year of real estate full-time, and I actually came from a dental hygiene background previously, so I was in healthcare prior to getting licensed. And to be honest with you, that was just a transition of curiosity, wanting to get into real estate for my own personal benefit from an investing side. And within 9 months, I had left my career in dental hygiene and went full-time right into real estate. It was not an easy choice, to be honest. I really enjoyed my career. I loved my team. I loved the patients. I think the biggest thing for me was that entrepreneurial spirit. And it was just something that I had in my gut that I had to do it, and I listened to myself, and I've never ever looked back.